Hi guys, welcome to your dynamic Hatha flow. So today we'll begin in a restorative child's pose, sitting on your heels and folding your upper body over your thighs. Arms are lengthened by your side. Head is lowered down onto the mat. Breathe here as we connect with the body, with the self, with the breath. And as we relax into this pose, just notice how you feel. If there are any tension or aches, maybe sending the breath there. On your last breath, bring your hands onto the mat, just underneath your shoulders, and knees underneath your hips, hip distance apart. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, rounding through the back, and then inhale, arching through the back. Continue bending and extending in the spine, linking the breath with the movement. Three more breaths, just like this. And then on your last exhale, walk your hands up an inch, push back up and come into a downward dog. Pedal out through the feet. And then push your heels back and breathe here. On an exhale, walk your hands up towards your toes. Fold here for a breath. And then on an exhale, bring your hands up towards your knees, coming into a halfway lift. And then exhale, lower. On an exhale, begin to slowly roll yourself all the way up into standing position. Spine is long and shoulders are rolled down and back. Breathe here. And then on an exhale, bend through the knees and lift the arms up towards the sky, coming into a chair pose. Take 2 breaths here. And then on an exhale, straighten the legs and lower the arms down towards your side. Lift up your right leg and bring your right foot inside your left thigh. Hands are in prayer position. Spine is long, coming into a tree pose. Hold here for 2 breaths. And then lower the hands and the legs by your side. Clasp the hands behind your back. And then exhale, bend through the knees and look up. As we open up through the chest, lengthen the arms long and strengthen the legs. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, lower your hands by your side. And this time, bring your left leg up and your left foot inside your right thigh. Hands are in prayer position. Gaze is long. Crown of the head is reaching up towards the sky. Hold here for a breath. And then lower the hands and the leg back down to the mat. Inhale here, and then on an exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, Begin a roll down all the way down to the mat. Inhale here, and then on an exhale, lift up into a halfway lift, hands to knees, and then exhale, fold. Walk the hands up towards the top of the mat and begin to pedal out through your feet. Exhale to push the heels back. Breathe here. And then on an exhale, lift your right leg up into a three-legged dog, bending through the knee. And then exhale, circle the right leg all the way up with your shin across your body. Left leg is long, coming into a pigeon. Take 2 breaths here. And then on an exhale, bring your right foot next to your right hand. Left leg is long, and breathe here. Gaze is neutral and spine is long as we open up through the hips. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, push up through your hands, lifting with your core. Face your left foot towards the side of your mat. Right leg is bent. And then bring your right hand up over your body. Left hand is touching your left leg. Breathe here as we open up through the side body. And then on an exhale, bring your hands in prayer position to your lower back. Bring the back foot in slightly. Straighten your right foot. And then on an exhale, bend from the hips and lower down to your right leg. Breathe here. On your last breath, bring your right hand next to your right foot, lifting your left hand up towards the sky, coming into a triangle pose. Take 2 breaths here. Gaze is up towards your left hand. On your last breath, walk your right hand just above your right foot. And then on an exhale, lift up your left leg and your left arm up towards the sky, coming into a half moon pose. Breathe here as we find more balance and strength within the body. And then on an exhale, lower your left leg, bringing the arms up towards the sky. Right leg is bent and in line with your right ankle. And left foot is on a 45-degree angle. Breathe here. And then on an exhale, lower your hands down towards the mat. Bring your right leg to meet your left leg. Coming into a plank position. Hold here for a breath. And then on an exhale, bend through the elbows, coming up into a chaturanga. Gaze is neutral, chest is open, and arms are long. Take 2 breaths here. And then on an exhale, push your hips back into a tabletop position, hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, lengthen your right arm long and your left leg long. Hold here for 2 breaths, and then lower down to the mat. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale, lift your left arm and your right leg. Hold here for 2 breaths and then lower down to the mat. Repeat this one more time on both sides in your own time, linking the breath with the movement. And then on an exhale, walk your hands up an inch and push your hips up into a downward dog. Hold here for a breath, and then exhale to lift up your left leg, coming into a 3-legged dog as you bend through the knee. And then circle the left leg through on an exhale, bringing your shin across your body. Right leg is long and hands are planted onto the mat. Breathe here in your pigeon pose. Take one more breath here. And then on an exhale, bring your left leg and your back leg is long. Take 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, bring your right toes to the side of your mat. Left leg is bent. And circle your left arm up overhead. Right hand is on your right leg. Hold here as we find more length in your side body. One more breath here. And then on an exhale, bring your right leg in an inch, placing your right foot on a 45-degree angle. Straighten your left leg and bring your hands to your lower back in prayer position. Inhale here, and then on an exhale, bend at your hips and fold over your left leg. Take 2 more breaths here. And then on an exhale, bring your left hand next to your left foot and your right hand up towards the sky. Gaze is looking up towards your right hand and hold here. On your last breath, bring your left hand up and just above your left foot. Take 1 breath here before we lift up your right leg in a half moon position and hold here. Take your time to find your balance. Use the breath to anchor yourself in this position. And then on an exhale, lower your right leg, placing the right foot on a 45-degree angle. Left leg is bent and arms are up, reaching towards the sky, coming into Warrior One. And then on an exhale, lower both hands onto the mat. Bring your left leg to meet your right leg. Hold here for a breath in plank position. And then exhale, bend at the elbows and lower down into an upward facing dog. Chest is proud and gaze is towards the sky. Hold here for a breath. And then push your hips back into a child's pose. Toes are touching and knees are to the side of the mat. Arms are lengthened long. And just notice how you feel. on an exhale, roll yourself up into a seated position. Inhale here, and then exhale, windmill your arms all the way up overhead and then back down. Repeat this 2 more times. On your last breath, clasp your hands into prayer position and then lower down to your heart center. Closing the practice with gratitude and thanking yourself for showing up and moving to feel good. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice today. I hope to see you again in the next video soon. Namaste.